The mega dragons would like to send you their support. It has been a while since we've heard from them, at least collectively. Maybe you have been speaking with them individually. And it's definitely been a while, at least a few months, since we've had any new mega dragons waking up. However, I sense this is soon about to change. So today I'm going to come through with a message from the Mega Dragon Collective for you about what to expect moving forward. Sending just frequencies of activation, support light codes to assist you through the final death throes, if you will, of this transformation process that we are in individually and collectively. And also just to be a little bit of your cheerleader and to hopefully hype you up and pep you up and give you a pep talk. So if that sounds good for you, I encourage you to stick around until the end of the video. And for those of you who may not know me, my name is Hannah, and I empower you to empower yourself. And so today, it's my intention to do that by connecting you with the frequency of these mega dragons so that you are able to connect more directly with them moving forward and get more direct guidance about your own life, your own personal experience. Because as they will talk about, I suspect in this transmission, as they're showing me right now, as they've shown me before, as many guides have, this is like a giant mosaic that we are all creating, and we all have a piece in the mosaic, a piece of the puzzle, if you will. And so each piece of the puzzle is just as important, just as necessary as every other piece. The puzzle, the mosaic, literally will not be finished. It cannot be completed if even a single piece is out of place. So know that the piece that you are, that lives within you, you are a piece of this mosaic, this puzzle. You are just as important as anyone else. No matter what you are doing or not doing, no matter what others are doing or not doing, you matter. And they really, really want you to remember that. And so that kind of just led us right into a channeling from them. I could really feel their energy coming through strongly. And so the main theme, the main message about this video that they really wanted me to convey for everyone is the time for seeking external validation. That is past. That is past, okay? You can probably feel it. Maybe in recent months, maybe recent years, you've felt less and less like watching, spiritual channelers, for example. Maybe you've just felt more and more called to go within, to consume less, and to just be more. And this will continue because they really want to stress that you have all the answers inside of you. Everything you could ever want. The Akashic records literally live within you. Your heart is a portal. It is a channel, a portal, a bridge to source. And from there, you can access quite literally all that is. So you do not need anyone or anything outside of you to have the answers. Okay? So that's the number one thing they want to convey and to express. And they really want that to just sink into your system. It's an activation of dragon's fire. You matter. You are powerful, more sovereign than you know. The time has come to play your part consciously. And that requires you to look within, not without. So that said, they just they just came through here. This is a fun one so far. This is a fun one. They're just like coming in and out like really, really strong. They're playing with me. And they're giving me like an analogy of it's like a piece of meat, like a predator playing with a piece of meat, and it's just like, yeah, just playing with that piece of meat. I'm the piece of meat. If you didn't know, I'm the piece of meat here. So yeah, they're playing right now, but. That said, because this is their message, this is the energy that's coming through so strongly, I honestly have been hesitant to even like do this video, because just in doing this video, I'm perpetuating in a way exactly that which they don't want us to do, right? It's like I am channeling them. So it's like when you're watching this video, you're like, oh, what do the mega dragons have to say about this? What does Hannah have to say about this, right? And you're looking outside of yourself for the answers. So please, for all of our sakes, don't just let this sit. Don't just sit on this. After you watch this video, I really want you to sit with yourself. Literally, you can take your hands and you can place them on your heart like this. Set the timer if you have to. If you struggle to sit still, to be in meditation, set the timer for 5 minutes, let's say, and just start to notice the beating of your heart, and let that lull you into this meditative state within yourself, and know that from that state, I see like a prick of light. It's like there's darkness, and then there's this prick of light. Within that prick of light, you can go into that prick of light, expand it, open it, and from there, everything becomes clear. You access the Akash, and you can have any information that you possibly want. And so the internet and AI chatbots like ChatGPT and Claude, these are physical external manifestations of what is happening more and more energetically. It's like easier than ever before, right? To get basically any information that you want. You just run a Google search, you ask ChatGPT about it, right? And boom, almost instantaneously, you can have the answers, or at least Google's or ChatGPT's version of the answer, right? And so that's why the next layer here is, next time you have that impulse to Google something, to put it in a search, to ask ChatGPT, to ask Claude, to ask your friend, your lover for input, stop. Just stop. Place your hands on your heart. Breathe into your heart space and ask yourself instead, and see what flows through. This is how we create new earth. So my content moving forward is going to be more and more centered around just the building blocks of new earth. Like, this is what feels necessary now at the stage of ascension we are in. And I know when I first started on YouTube, in any case, I can just see a huge shift in like the type of content I do now versus then. And probably this will continue, where it's like back in the beginning, a lot more informative content. But now it's like those were training wheels. You don't need those training wheels anymore. So I'm not going to enable you. I'm not going to enable you anymore necessarily, unless I feel genuinely inspired to enable you, okay? But I'm not going to enable you. The time has come to look within. So my content moving forward is just going to be whatever feels truly authentic to pulling that information out of you to a degree that we've never done before, honestly. This is uncharted territory, and that's what's exciting. And the intention behind the content that I'm going to provide moving forward is all about building the new earth, like different building blocks. And so the mega dragons are a big foundation of that. They are a part of the new earth. They are quite literally, they show me like these giant ass foundational building blocks of the new earth. The divine counterparts, which I did a video on recently up here if you want to check that out. That is another huge foundational energy for the new earth. Going within rather than without, another huge energy of the new earth, yeah? So this is what you can expect from me going forward, because the time has come to stop giving our power away to others. And this is going to require us all to relentlessly look at ourselves, because we all do this. Even if immediately you say that, oh, I don't do that, Hannah. Trust me, friend, you do. Maybe you do it less than you used to do, but you still do it sometimes. We all do. It's part of our collective programming. It's on its way out, but it's not quite out yet. And so now, this year, a big theme of 2026 is to relentlessly look at yourself and ask, okay, where am I seeking external validation from others and not giving it to myself? So next, what wants to come through from them is kind of riding the wave of that energy. That's really the heart. That's the heart. That's the heart of this message, yeah? Is don't give your power away to others. That said, riding that, the Mega Dragons would like you to know this is exactly why you may have not heard from them recently. This is why they're not waking up right now. This is why maybe also personally you've noticed that your guides are just pulling back. You might even feel a bit abandoned, a bit lost, a bit confused. Know that. Know that the party is just about to get started, okay? It's basically like, they're kind of spoiling the surprise here, but it's basically like they're all planning a surprise party for us, is what they're saying. Is like, shh, but we're planning a surprise party for you guys. It's going to be awesome. It's going to completely blow your minds, but we can't like show you the planning process, because then it wouldn't be this fun surprise, right? So apparently the Mega Dragons and all of our guides are planning a surprise party for us collectively right now, and they're working hard behind the scenes doing work on this. And so just trust. Just put your hands up and surrender and trust, and know that everything is exactly as it's meant to be. You are perfectly aligned. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Everything is falling into place. Everything. Like, you are so good. You have no idea how good you are. And so going off of that, they want you to know there is a hella fear-mongering in the world right now, yeah? There's hella intensity. And these energies of war, these energies of disclosure, these are things, and this could be controversial, don't take this out of context, but these are things that you can celebrate, because what this is, the Mega Dragons say, and they're like interlinked with Earth. Their energy is interlinked. They're like literally a part of her flesh, is what they're showing me. They're telling me, as visceral as that sounds, as raw as that sounds. They're saying that they're a part of her flesh and they're helping her, and she's purging right now. And so right now, these scary things that are happening, these intense things, these challenging things that are happening for many, many people on the planet right now, it's literally a purge. And you know how it is. If you're watching this video and you've watched this far into the video, you know how it is. You don't need me to tell you. You don't need the Mega Dragons to tell you, right? Healing crisis is totally a thing. When you're going to the next level, everything that's not a match has to come up. It needs to be reviewed, looked at, so that it can be released once and for all. So the Mega Dragons say the best thing you can do right now for the world, friends, is to hold your vibe so high. Because those who are not conscious, those who are not aware of this stuff, this is scary ass shit, okay? This is scary ass shit. And so the best thing you can do is you hold the light. You hold the lights. And basically what you're doing is standing up here, you're shining the light down. So these people who are down here in the low rungs of vibrational reality, in just pure fear and shame and guilt and anger and frustration and stuckness, you're basically illuminating the path for them. And they may hate you for that. Know that they may hate you for that. People, you might already be experiencing this. Like, you just come at people with love and authenticity, and they're like, stay back, no. Because it's startling for them. It's startling for them. And so here's a suggestion. So my friend just had me watch the first episode of this show, Pluribus, the other day. And I was like, mind blown, because the main character of this show, basically to me, it seems like a perfect analogy of those who are in a lower vibration, those who are in fear, and those who are resisting, this ascension process because they're in fear. And so if you want like a grounded, down to earth sort of demonstration of what this looks like, watch that show and notice how the main character is, at least in the first episode. I haven't watched any more yet, so I can't tell you how it goes, but in the first episode, I think it's a very clear demonstration of that fear mindset, and this is where most people in the collective are right now. So what we can do for them is just we hold the light. We hold the light. That does not mean that you tolerate crappy behavior from others if you're shining your light and they're not liking it. It just means you love them from afar, right? And know that as you do this, like the mega dragons, your star family, your ancestors, your guides, your personal dragons, you know, the elemental kingdoms, the ascended masters, deities, the whole universe, they're doing this for you. They're doing this for us. They're holding the light for us so that we can climb up to the 5th dimension, the 6th, the 7th, and beyond. They are shining the light for us. So if you ever feel put out and like you're slipping back into martyrdom, just know that you can call on any of these guides, these higher frequency beings for support, and they have nothing but love. They have nothing but love and support for you, compassion for you on your journey. Many of these beings know exactly what it's like to ascend and to move between the lower and higher vibrational realities. So the final note that the mega dragons wish for me to share with you guys is that dragons in general, most dragons, not all, but most dragons on Earth at this time are considered elemental dragons. They're part of the elemental kingdom. They're elemental beings. Not all dragons are this, but the majority on Earth are right now. And there's a whole elemental kingdom, and this elemental kingdom includes beings like fairies and gnomes and mermaids and sylphs and elves and jinn and so many different beings. Now, what they show me is that it's like the movie The Lion King. I'm a huge Lion King fan, so I love this reference. It's basically like The Lion King, how the lions are like the royalty of the savannah, right? It's like in that movie, in this Disney movie at least, it's like everyone is in harmony together, at least when the baby, the baby lion, the prince is born, everyone's in harmony together, even though they all are different species and stuff, they all come in harmony together. And they are ruled by the lions. So the dragons show me this is the exact same energy of the elemental kingdom, but it is the dragons instead of the lions that are the like royalty of the elemental kingdom. They are the royalty of the elemental kingdom. So that means that they kind of oversee and they protect the elementals and the elemental kingdom. And that comes with a lot of responsibility, of course. It's not like they're overlords, okay? Give them some faith, yeah? Give them some respect. They're not overlords. It comes with a lot of responsibility, but their energy is big enough and stable enough that they could accept that job, and they're happy to accept that job. It's their great honor because they're some of the most ancient beings that there are. So they're overqualified for this job, if you will. Also, they're saying they just want me to share this. I myself, I've always had a strong connection with lions, and no surprise, I have like strong Lyran energy and my star energy. And they say a lot of people that are dragon people will have a strong affinity with lions for this reason. There's a lot of crossover between the energies. So it's like, yeah, like lions oftentimes can be considered like the royalty of like the mammal kingdom, and dragons are royalty of the elemental kingdom. So it's a similar frequency. So if you've felt, like a call to lions too, this could be why it's a little crossover. Anyways, the point that they want me to make with this is they're inviting you now to step into your sovereign dragon energy and to start branching out with different elementals and start to work with these different elementals. This is why in my private community and mystery school, the House of the Spirit Dragon, we have started working with some other beings. Like we recently just worked with fairies and the fae, and we're about to work in a couple of days with flowers. We've worked with the unicorns, we've worked with the mermaids, and I think this is just going to continue until we're familiar with all these different species within the elemental kingdom. And so the dragons say that you, if you're watching this and if you resonate with this content, you are likely a dragon soul and you have that dragon energy, that overseer sort of energy. And so now they want you to branch out and not just work with the dragons and other dragons. They want you to diversify and start to work with these other elemental beings. And know that by doing this, it's going to actually reflect in the physical world as well. It's going to let you start to understand and have compassion for people from completely different walks of life from you. And so specifically, what they're showing me here is it's like right now there's a huge split, a huge divide between the conscious and the unconscious, right? And so they're saying that like by working with these other elementals that you might not be familiar with, you're going to start to be able to work more with unconscious people. Even though right now I would say we're in a phase where maybe we're meant to like not really interact with them so much, there's going to come a time, and it could be sooner than we think, where we are meant to kind of interact with them, but we're interacting with them from a completely higher level of consciousness, like a really grounded sort of energy. And now the analogy they're showing me is like Jesus, Yeshua as an ascended master, right? It's like he was surrounded by people that were unconscious. There was barely anyone that was as conscious as him around the same time as him, but he was able to just have this relentless compassion, right? So yes, to make kind of a joke of it, that mega dragons are saying, yes, you are being asked to have like the ascended master levels of compassion now, like saint-like levels of compassion now for your fellow man, for your fellow human, for your fellow beings, for the elementals, for all the elementals, for every being on this planet right now. Know that we're all in this together and we're all supporting each other. So those are the three main points that they wanted to convey. And now, just as they say, this is not so important, but it's going to be an ego lollipop, as I like to say, for our egos that like want to know, right? We want to know what's coming and we want predictions and all that. So here's a little ego lollipop. Likely within the next month or 2 months, we'll see another mega dragon waking up. So the time has come. They have not been waking up because, as I've described it many times now, around December of 2025, first half or so, we were blasted with light. We were blasted with light. And around that time, just before that time, we had 3 mega dragons wake up all at the same time that had very powerful, intense energy. And so essentially this entire time we've been integrating that, we've been processing that. And that is exactly why many of us have felt the need, myself included, to hermit and to just sleep inordinate amounts of time, because your body literally needs to adjust to these frequencies of light. Now you may be noticing that that is shifting and you're feeling lighter once more. You're feeling more energized again. You're ready to take on the world. That's a great sign. And that's also a sign that, okay, now the coast is clear for the next mega dragon to wake up, and that will be very, very soon. Also, they say that these like negative manifestations, these purging, these collective shadows that are being purged right now, that is also a good sign, because if there's too many shadows in the collective, low vibrational energy, like literally there's no space for the mega dragons. And as their name implies, they are mega. Their energy is bigger than you can comprehend, really. Their energy is so big, but there's no space. And they're like, hey, we're not clowns. Like, we're not gonna like all just fit into this tiny car for your entertainment. So yeah, they're waiting for there to be space in the collective energy field. Right now, there's so much low vibrational energy that they cannot, like another one cannot wake up right now. It's just, there's no space. It would like completely explode the grid if they were to do that, and they're not going to do that. So yeah, so just know that, but that process is, it's unfolding right now. And so we are making the space. And once the space is made, as soon as that happens, whether it's, you know, a month down the line, a couple of months down the line, that's when the next mega dragon's going to wake up. And I sense when this next one wakes up, there's going to be a big link between the divine union energies that, again, I talk about in that divine counterpart video. So very, very exciting times, friends. After like these months of silence, I think we're about to have a wild time these next few months. Like it's going to be wild. I don't even know, like no one knows exactly what's going to play out, but I think you can feel it, can't you? So to wrap up the video, I'm just gonna send an activation from the Mega Dragons, and I'm gonna be channeling some light language for you guys just to send you off, to give you a nice big warm Mega Dragon hug. Asia kana aya esanaya esana eya etala asia esana ala ekutana yatana a eya kana ala ana asia ata atana etana asuna Esuya, Esu, yate, asunane, muesui, mueyasi, asuna, mueyasi. Be still and know that everything is working out right now. There's so much happening behind the scenes that you cannot see. You cannot see it, but it doesn't mean it's not there. Very exciting time to be alive. And so I will say, as always, if you're picking up what I'm putting down here, there is an abundance of opportunities to go deeper with me personally. I believe I have quite a few sessions open this month for one-to-one work. And then, of course, always I'm excited about people joining us in the House of the Spirit Dragon. Like I said, in a couple of days, we're working with flowers. And we recently worked with unicorns and fairies. So if you want to get a leg up on like working with these like different elemental energies, feeling into the difference between dragon energy and other elementals, there's some good content there. There's like over 150 hours of content in the house that you can play with. And to be clear, like the bulk, the gold of these sessions is these meditation journeys, these epic meditation journeys that we go on, like 30 to 40 minutes usually. Very powerful stuff. And we have such an abundance of sessions on working with different dragons and different dragon elementals at this point. And next month, we're going to work with the silver lunar dragons. So yeah, it's just a party there. And I would honestly love to have you. I would love to go deeper with you there if you're feeling called to it. If you want, a warm hug from a little community of dragon souls, we would be happy to support you. And so either way, I'm curious how this video landed with you. Have you gotten any hits recently from the Mega Dragons? How are you feeling about what came out today? Do you feel a bit called out, perhaps? Does it make sense? Does it resonate? As usual, I'm always curious to hear what you guys think. And stay tuned, as I suspect soon, maybe within the next few days, I'll do another video about the link between the Mega Dragons and the Divine Counterparts specifically, because quite a few people asked me about that. And yes, there is a link there. So yeah, looking forward to discussing that in another video. Either way, my friends, sending you so much love on your journey. Know that you are so loved. Like, really feel that. You are so fucking loved. You are so divine. There's so much love all around you in any given moment, because you literally are love. You are love, and you are loved. Much love to you on your journey. And stay powerful.